Well, things are heating up in the Scarlett Johansson versus Disney saga with new evidence that she has been formally blacklisted from Disney and even had her upcoming project canceled in response / retaliation to her running lawsuit. Now, I don't understand why anyone would be surprised by this. You know, in the real world, if I have an ex-employee suing me, pretty sure I'm not going to continue to do business with them. Now, in liberal Hollywood, apparently they don't understand why this might be a barrier to continue to want to pay somebody money. But this is actually a very, very spicy case and could really have some serious implications long term for a variety of reasons. Now that Tower of Terror film has been canceled starring Scarlett Johansson, you'll have more time to read some books. And with Blinkist, you'll be able to read even more of them. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Blinkist. Look, I like reading books, but I don't always have time to sit down and read through the entire thing. I've recently discovered Blinkist, so instead of having to find all the time to read an entire book, I can just listen to all the highlights in only 15 minutes. Why Blinkist? Well, they have the best insights from over 4,500 nonfiction books. It condenses them all down to just about 15 minutes. You can read or listen to them podcast style. Just look at all the different categories they have: entrepreneurship, science, economics, corporate culture, politics, history, psychology, technology, productivity, communication skills, personal development, marketing and sales. You can see Turning Pro, how to do the work, set boundaries, find peace, the motivation myth. All of these type of books in 15 minutes. Look, I've got a special offer for you. The first 100 people that use my link in the description or pinned comment below are going to get unlimited access for 1 full week to try it out. You'll also get 25% off if you want the full membership. So be one of the first 100 people to click the link. Look, find a book that you've been meaning to read, listen to it, and I guarantee you'll love Blinkist. Check out the links in the description and pinned comment below. Sign up today using the link in the description or pinned comment below. Support the channel and edify yourself. This is a win-win, friends. Disney now cutting ties with Scarlett Johansson, and Tower of Terror film canceled. Following Scarlett Johansson's suit against Disney over Black Widow's release on Disney+, Disney is cutting all ties with the actress and canceling all projects involving her. According to Giant Freaking Robot, this includes previously announced Tower of Terror film Johansson was set to produce and star in. This is a huge hit because this is behind the camera work for Scarlett Johansson as well as in front of the camera work. Probably another massive payday. We know that Disney kind of scummily released that Johansson made $20 million for Black Widow. Her lawsuit, of course, claims that she could have earned as much as 60 million, I think 60 or 70 million with a worldwide theatrical release, except that's like utter nonsense. That was never going to happen. We now know what post-lockdown cinemas look like. $100 million opening weekend would be a modern day blockbuster. You're not going to have billion-dollar Hollywood films anymore. You're not going to have $500 million opening weekends. And I honestly believe that you will never have them again. There's probably, and this is just guessing, right? But like there's at least 10 to 15% of people that will never return to a theater or another crowded space again in their life. They have consumed so much fear from mainstream media that they just can't do it, won't do it. There are also 5% of people out there that just won't comply with whatever particular rules a theater may impose, whether it's being, having to wear a mask or having to show proof of getting the jab, which is now what's going on around. Like, I guarantee you, there are people like me out there. So like, even if you had it, if somebody's requesting you prove it to give them money, nope, that's not happening. So you have kind of this chunk of people that are never going back to the theater. And I wouldn't doubt that that number is actually higher because you had big releases in Fast 9 and in Black Widow. Although Fast 9 did better than I expected, Black Widow was kind of a dud and will lose money. And this is a pretty big kickback. why is Scarlett suing? Well, because she had box office earnings tied to her contract with Disney. So Disney says, hypothetically, all right, we're going to pay you a $20 million base. If it does $500 million, you get another $10 million, $600 million, you get another $10 million, whatever the case is, right? Something like that. Her claim is that because they release it on Disney Plus at the same time, that made sure people didn't show up at the cinema, which is just not true. We now know that people don't want to go back to the movies for whatever reason. Maybe they're done supporting Hollywood. Maybe they're done with that particular local theater and whatever particular rules they may have. But that's the fact of it. That's the post-lockdown world. People don't want to go to the movies anymore. We've all been spoiled with high-quality streaming services. And to be honest with you, if I was a parent and my kids wanted to see, the latest whatever garbage cartoon that Disney put out or something like that, I would even be tempted to pay the $30 because you know why? I don't know if you can rewatch it if you get the movie for 24 hours, if you can watch it more than once. But hypothetically, your kids could watch it multiple times in that 24-hour window. Even if they couldn't, you buy a popcorn maker. This is what I did when they shut down all the theaters. The biggest thing for me was the popcorn and the slushies, ices. So I bought a popcorn maker. Although, hey, popcorn makers out there, I have this problem where like the popcorn is good. It tastes good. You got to use way less oil and salt than they give you, but it's kind of hard. It's not as fluffy as it is from the theater. Is it because I have too small of a popcorn maker? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. But that thing was like $200. And I easily saved that in the many months that the theaters were shut down anyway. So, make some you get the family night, right? It's more family oriented. It's like, okay, family, we're going to finish our chores. We're going to eat our vegetables. And then dad's going to make popcorn or mom's going to make popcorn and ices for everybody. And we're all going to sit in the living room together as a family and watch this movie. And we're not going to put our feet in anything sticky. We're not going to have somebody sneeze on the back of our neck. These are like just flat benefits that you're just no longer going to be able to deny. Will Disney raise the price? $30 to me is already probably too much. But it's interesting to me when you look at, the entirety of Hollywood is looking at Scarlett Johansson's situation now and deciding that this is a watershed moment or tentpole, whatever you want to call it. A new rumor claims that Walt Disney has cut ties with Black Widow actress Scarlett Johansson if she filed a lawsuit against the company claiming they breached her contract when they released Black Widow via Disney Plus Premiere at the same day it was released in theaters. I mean, let's be honest. They made $60 million in the opening weekend for Disney Premiere, so you should pay her cut on that. And if they made $100 million all in, okay. The actress specifically claims that Disney acted with malice, oppression, or fraud in willful disregard of her interests and is seeking monetary and punitive damages. I actually think she's going to win this. I thought it was pretty hilarious that Disney came out and used the dead bodies from the coof to justify and try to shame Scarlett Johansson for trying to get her money. Look, normally I would never side with anybody from Hollywood, and maybe there's more details than we know right now, but based on what I know, she had this built into her contract. She said, and no point was it agreed upon that they would have, a dual release for the movie. They did it anyway, and then they didn't pay her the money. It seems like a slam dunk. And this release that they had was pretty gross. Disney has fully complied with Ms. Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced the ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she's already received. Again, not really their place. You should pay the woman. The rumor surfaced from former editor at Hollywood Reporter that Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige is pissed. He lobbied Disney against the day and date plan for Black Widow, preferring the big screen exclusivity and not wanting to upset his talent. And the stuff hit the fan. The movie started tanking. Johansson's team threatened litigation. He wanted Disney to make this right with her. Interestingly, though, in the same What I'm Hearing newsletter, Bellany also noted that Johansson is at the end of her Marvel deal, and for that reason, Disney doesn't have to care about any kind of ongoing relationship. I mean, it's possible, but why cancel that entire film altogether? ScarJo notes that the upcoming Black Widow is the first movie produced by one of its actors. She's also referred to it as a standalone franchise, which is interesting if you expected it to be a one-off based on, Yeah, I mean, well, Scarlett's done. I mean, I don't think anybody, we know now based on the box office, nobody really cared about Black Widow. The movie was, again, fine. Just like all Marvel movies. It's in the middle of the pack. But this is a bitter end and a pretty petty move from Disney, which isn't going to help their PR very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.